This is Two Blokes Talking Electric Cars with Trevor Long and Stephen Fennick. Thanks to NRMA Insurance and Uniden.
Just waving to the fans, Stephen. Thanks for coming, downloading, watching, whatever you're doing. We do it all thanks to the great people at NRMA Insurance, helping Australians protect what matters most for 100 years. They are a help company and also one of Australia's largest insurers of electric vehicles. And Uniden Smart Dashcams. Get a dashcam, folks, so that you can be protected with your knowledge of what happened on the roads. Whatever happened, you've got some backup and some proof of your own, no matter what happens around you. Front and rear, Uniden have got you covered. Stephen, g'day.
G'day, Trev. How's it going?
Yeah, really good, mate. We've got a bunch of people to get to today. We welcome your calls.
Packed show today.
Packed show. 0477 657 657. Just send us a text or a WhatsApp, and we'd love to get you on the show and just chat about EVs. Doesn't matter whether you're an owner for 20 years, 1 year, or not at all.
Shoot the breeze with the two blokes.
We have a couple of great calls, and also we're catching up with Gary from the Kia EV Owners Association, who has been listening all the time. A big regular listener. We appreciate that, Gary, but also has a lot of data about some things we talked about, like tyre life, battery storage, battery usage, and things like that. Yep. So we'll catch up on all those things.
On the pulse.
On the pulse. Finger. Have you got your finger on the pulse?
Finger to the pulse. I try to.
No, we're good. We're
okay.
Do you need to check yours?
I'm fine, mate.
Blood pressure's the problem here, not pulse. But we're working on that.
I just checked my watch.
Oh, right, okay.
Heart rate.
Everything okay?
It's all there.
Under control, all right. Two Blokes Talking Electric Cars. Get in touch, folks. 0477 657. Thanks to Vodafone. Send us a text or a WhatsApp. We'd love to have you on the show. Do it again. It's always fun watching Steve. Is that as much as dancing as you do?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, lately.
You hit the dance floor? Okay.
I don't mind a dance,
Tell you what doesn't mind a dance. Mercedes G-Wagon.
The G-Wagon.
G580 EQ. I saw this when it was announced for Australia. I actually saw this at CES 2 years, maybe 3 years ago. Yep. It was like a concept of it. Yes. But it was clearly a ready-for-market concept as opposed to those kind of fancy concept vehicles. But then it was announced for Australia at the Melbourne Grand Prix this year, and it was announced at $300,000, and I went, hello. And then I heard the questions from the two or three other journos that were there. They're going, why is it so affordable? And I went,
affordable?
Yeah. So a normal G-Wagon, right? Yeah. A V8 thumping, throbbing V8 G-Wagon. Yeah. You're talking $450,000, $500,000.
Wow. Okay.
So this is actually a ridiculously affordable G-Wagon.
So I'm assuming it's the first electric version of it.
Yes.
Right.
And now the G-Wagon, people that don't know, is a boxy SUV with proper off-road credentials, right? But its common environment is your Touareg tractor, your Eastern Suburbs soccer mum, that kind of thing. It's actually a show-off mobile. Okay. This is not a car that you see regularly out on the bush tracks.
If you wanted to, it would handle the great outdoors or not.
Now that's where it came to dancing. Okay. Well, I actually took it to the country, and by the way, in the country, no recognition. This car, no one turns ahead. In the city, everyone turns ahead. Yeah. But in the country, it's like, what is that? Yeah. But I took it on a dirt road. So this thing has a feature called the G-turn, and the idea of the G-turn is you're going down a country like a bush track, a narrow bush track, and you got to turn around because you come the wrong way. Yeah. Well, you can't.
It's hard to do a 3-point turn.
So it's actually quite complex. I'll be honest with you. You got to put it in neutral. You got to put it in rock mode. You got to press low range, and then you got to put it in G-turn, and then you put it in drive. It's a complex set of things. And then you pull one of the pedals, and you hold the wheel straight, and you push the accelerator, and it goes round and round in circles. But not donuts. So a donut is when the front of the car is in one position, the back of the car spins. This is what they call a tank turn.
Right. So it doesn't move.
Spins on a dime.
Right.
So what happens is the left-hand wheels
turn on a road,
go forward, the right-hand wheels go backwards, or vice versa, whichever you choose. And it spins, man. It's cool.
I saw your video. You went quite wild on your spin.
If you happen to live in regional New South Wales near a town called Wombat, and you got up last Sunday morning a few weeks ago and you drove out of your property and you went, what the hell happened here?
What's happened here?
There's all these circles on the road. It wasn't a crop circle.
It wasn't crop circle.
It was T-long.
Yeah, Trevor had a bit of fun out there.
I took my brother on
not many places we could do this in the city.
I did it for my brother, and he lost his mind with excitement.
Wow.
Videoed it and the whole thing. It's an impressive thing, but it's not really,
and it works feature. On any like dirt road, normal road, works anywhere.
You wouldn't do it on a road that's not wet because it would chew up the tyres.
Right.
It would chew through the tyres.
Really?
Yes. You would not do this on bitumen. No, not at all. But aside from that, it's just a Mercedes, isn't it?
Yeah,
just inside and driving.
Very similar to my car.
Mercedes.
The system is the same. And, mate, what impressed me, of course, is just the size of the thing. Like, it's such a tall car. And, like, I'm normally driving my sedan, which is like my wife says it's like sitting on the road. This is the opposite, where I was sitting in traffic. I could see the roof of every car in front of me. Yeah. And getting in and out, like, I'm not a short guy.
No.
But I had to really sort of make an effort to get up.
Yeah, you got to use the side step.
I picked up my mother a couple of times. I actually had to help her in and out of the car. So well off the ground.
Yeah, same. I took Mum and her partner Gary, and there was a bit of help required to get them into the car. Yeah. But it's not really made for that kind of assistance. The thing is, it is a different ride because it's made for the off road. Yeah. So we drove to the city, and Amanda's like, this thing's it's a bit bumpy and chunky. Yeah. She didn't love the ride as a passenger.
I think it's meant like it. To me, what impressed me was just the build quality, how strong the car looked.
Slam the door.
Had the loudest unlock and lock of any car I've ever heard.
Mechanical sound.
Just like bang. Wow.
Yeah. Look, it doesn't have a big boot. It's not actually it's not a 7-seater or anything. No. But plenty of room for 5 people.
I took it to IKEA one time to pick up some shelves.
Put the seats down, off you go.
The seats down, and she was all right. Yeah.
No dramas. Happy days.
Not a problem.
And look, the one we had was in a bright blue, so it stood out a little bit. That was the edition one.
Yeah.
But look, honestly,
it did get a few people were asking about it when I was driving.
The fact that it's more affordable than the petrol is wild. More affordable. And by the way, they sell 400 plus of those G-Wagons, the petrol ones, every year.
Wow.
So
there's a real dedicated band of fans out there. I
think it'll be fascinating. It won't be broken down in the sales numbers, but it'll be interesting to see how many they sell, because I actually think for your eastern suburbs wealthy individual who's looking at the G-Wagon, this is just as appealing, if not more, because it's electric. It's quiet.
Yeah.
Some people want the G-Wagon for the sound, but others want it for the G-Wagon. So I took my 14-year-old daughter. She had to go to the city.
Yep.
And I picked her up at the school, and she went, "You've got a G-Wagon?" I went, "How do you know what a G-Wagon is?" Turns out all the influencers have them.
Really?
And then we had to bring another girl home for a lift home, and we walked to the car park. I went, "Beep, beep." And she went, "You've got a G-Wagon?"
Wow.
I had no idea this thing would be so popular with girls. So I thought the market was just, it's an off-road car, blokes and all that sort of stuff. But the influencers, mate. She said, my daughter said, I want it in white.
Nice. Nice.
That's fair. You do.
Or black could be nice too. Black.
Yeah, mate. Most of the G-Wagons are black around. Yeah. But look, honestly, great car.
Very nice. Yeah. Well, you know what? If you can afford it, and I'm assuming it's a very safe car too, because it's built like a tank.
I think you could run over cars in it.
Yeah. It's.
Did you notice the traffic light camera?
That's on
every time
Mercedes.
you stop at the light, it says traffic light camera. You press that, and it's like, mate, I can see.
You can see the light. Yeah.
What are you showing me?
My car offers that too, but
we worked it out. Yeah. So I think it's more American thing. A lot of American lights are on this side of the road where you're parked. There's a light hanging over you.
Yes.
It's so that you can see that light.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I press it every time and I go, I can see that from the. What are you showing me here?
It kept offering me the option in my car. I turned that off for the settings, right? Yeah. But in this one, it just kept offering it. And once or twice, I said, okay, I'll have a go.
Look, I will say finally, on road. Energy efficiency very poor on the highways.
Yeah.
This was not a
range, isn't it?
Yeah, this was
ironic, isn't it? It's a car that you would take on a trip like that out in the middle of nowhere.
That would be my main criticism. At $300,000, I would want a bit more range.
Okay,
so disappointing. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, I handed back the keys. You can have it. But they called me and said, "Where is it?" No,
okay,
they didn't really. Great car,
good
bit
stuff.
of fun, and it was good to drive. We enjoyed that. We got a bunch of cars coming up. We got cars we haven't talked about yet. We've got MGs, we've got JQs, super hybrids. We've got, what else have we not talked about? What did we have while we had the G-Wagon?
We had did we have the Kia? The Kia.
Was it the EV3?
I think we've spoken to the EV3.
We already spoke about that.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've got a lot of cars coming up.
Yeah.
And you can hear about them right here on Two Blokes Talking Electric Cars. Great to have your company on Two Blokes Talking Electric Cars. We'd love to hear from you. 0477 657 657. Send us a text. Thanks to Vodafone. We'll take your call and have you on the show. Whatever you want to talk about with electric cars. Bonita is on the line. G'day. How are you?
Hey, how you guys?
Very well. We understand you've just taken delivery in just the recent days or weeks of a brand new car. What'd you get?
I got the Kia EV3 and I got it on Monday last week.
Wow, so you're
that's
fresh.
That's awesome.
Fresh in the Kia.
What did you
Fresh, it
consider?
still smells good.
Were you always going to get an electric car?
No. When I was looking for a new car, because I had a Duke before, a 2015 Nissan Duke, and I was just looking for like a similar small
car.
SUV.
Yep.
I was looking at the CHRs, the Toyotas, and then the Sportage. And then when we went to look for the Sportage, I saw the EV3 and I was like, yeah, I want that one.
So hang on. So you liked it because of the look of it, or did you know it was an EV to begin with?
I knew it was an EV,
Yep.
but I liked the look of it. Like I saw both the Air and the GT in the lot, and I don't know. Yeah, I'm an emotional decision maker, so I liked it, and it didn't matter to me that it was EV.
Emotional. Yeah, we're emotional too. But so how soon before you saw it and then you had it? Was it a long time you had to wait, or you got it straight away?
No, it was like a month, I want to say.
Okay, that's not too bad.
That's not
pretty
bad
short.
at all.
That's pretty
So,
short.
but having made that decision to look at an EV, did you then go, I should look at other EVs, or you were just sold on the Kia at that point?
I did try and get influenced by a certain person that is maybe a producer, Rob, to get a BYD.
Okay,
So let's just for context,
pennies dropped.
Bonita's dad is a longtime friend of the show and helps me with the ESGN podcast.
Yes.
He's a mad BYD owner, very early
Yes,
adopter,
he
wouldn't
is.
you? When
He
you
was
say
too,
Bonita,
yeah.
he had one of the early BYDs. He's on his second one.
Yes.
So he tried to twist you into the BYD, did he?
Yeah, he'd sent me the links to the Sea Lion and the hybrids or whatever they were, but I didn't find them as pretty on the outside as the Kia. So yeah,
he does send annoying links a lot.
Oh, does he?
He's basically a punch.
Okay.
Imagine he was you. So I can ignore him, but it's Benita's his daughter. You can't ignore him. So there you are. So you ended up with an EV3. What was delivery day like? I mean, was the Duke a brand new car when you got it, or was this your first brand new car?
No, the Duke was used car. So this was the very first time I'd got a new car, and it was fine. Like they put the bow on it and they took the photo, and he explained the app to me, which was helpful.
Yep. So good delivery experience then, was it?
Yeah. I didn't end up getting the car from the lot where I saw it the first time.
Right.
That Kia was really busy, so we ended up going to a different one, but they were nice at the second one.
Shop around. You're entitled to.
And Benita, what sort of driving do you do? Is it EV going to suit your driving? Do you drive long distances? And have you considered where you're going to charge it as well?
So I do drive about 30 Ks to work every morning and 30 Ks home. So I'm about 40 minutes in traffic if I'm lucky.
Right.
So that's kind of why the EV worked for me a bit more, because the depreciation on a petrol car, just the Ks would have gone up way too quickly. And what was the second question? I forgot it.
Your charging situation. Do you charging at home? Have you got a wall charger? Are you doing public charging? How are you going to charge your vehicle?
I do it at home. I just chuck it on every night. We switched, me and my partner, we switched to an EV plan on our electricity provider.
Yep.
You get like 20 cents off between the hours of 12 and 6 in the morning. But I just chuck it on when I get home. It gets me through the week. And then I actually did go to a charging station thingy for a test. And it wasn't as cheap as I thought it would be. So I quickly took it out. I was like, 25% is enough. That's fine.
Okay.
Wow. So you actually had a bit of bill shock there on the cost of public charging. That's kind of like the old petrol days, right? Because you don't I don't realise it anymore. And again, you're young. Your father's very old. He would appreciate this. He's older than Stephen, and that's saying something. But but the thing is, when you get to our age, although your father's retired now, so he's now gone back to penny pinching, right? But when you're working and doing okay, I don't really worry and think about the cost of running the car. Whereas Jackson, my 18-year-old, mate, he's looking at prices of petrol and going,
you know what?
Dad, can I drive your electric car,
That's
please?
not a bad
today?"
thing. You know how rich people become rich?
Oh,
They watch their pennies sometimes.
Life lessons from Stephen.
So you're happy then with is it the trickle charger? So you got it just into a normal power point at home. So the what we call that the granny charger. So the slow charger, overnight charger. Yeah.
Yeah, it was quite shocking when I first got it, not going to lie, because like I put it on charge and then the app said, 30 hours until it's complete. And I went, oh my God. So I had a little freak out, which I'm sure like when you're new to the EVs, you probably don't realize that it's not as simple as just chucking it on charge and it going to 100 overnight. But other than that, I've got an experienced EV driver who explained to me how it all works.
Yep.
And Dad has a wall charger anyway, so I'll just scab his electricity.
Let's just go around and just say, Dad, I'm popping around to see you.
Yeah, I'll come around for dinner.
Let's make it a 4-hour dinner, and I'll just plug in.
Let's make a long dinner.
Every Wednesday. So I'm going to take it if I can, if he lets me, but I'm sure I'll get a bill.
Oh, no, you won't. He
bloody will too. He'll invoice you. Well, it's
he
awesome.
will.
So in a week, after just a week or so, have you had any gripes about the EV3? Like legitimately things that you go, wow, this is maybe I would prefer it wasn't like this, or just little things that maybe you got a learning curve for?
Not really. The only thing that I think anyone would possibly have a problem with is just the inside. Obviously, there's no gear shift or whatever you call the thing. Yep. So just open space. So the only gripe I feel like anybody would have is just that there's no center console where you can put like storage and whatnot. Yeah. My Duke never had that, so my car was just, I'm used to that. But it is kind of a little bit jarring just seeing all your belongings like just out in the open, or I just got to be careful. Like you've got the glove box obviously, but I would say most people have a center console.
And the cup holders, as I recall the EV3, they're quite low.
Cup holes are low.
It's like a long stretch for the cup holder.
Yes, they are. You got to have a long arm.
They are, and I have long limbs. I'm 5'9", so they're a bit long for me. So but other than that, I think that the car itself it's so roomy. Like I said, it came from a Duke. It's very sleek. The CHRs, when I was looking at them, super sleek. The Kia, even though I think it's a bit small, I'm not sure, but it feels big. Even my friend got in and she's got 2 kids. She said it feels big, and that's the smallest SUV.
My wife said the same. Yeah. My wife drives a Kia, but petrol
Sportage,
Kia, and she said, "Oh wow, it's big," and I said, "Really? This is the smallest one they've got." Yeah,
it's actually small.
So she said too. Yeah.
Well, that's a win. You've had a win. You got a great car. It's going to last you a long time. You're going to trickle charge it. We've learned over the last weeks, and we talked about it recently, but trickle charging your car or slow charging your car, even at your dad's place, but not using public chargers excessively. And we mean use them whenever you need to, but not if that's your only way of charging. Yeah. You're going to get really good battery life.
You can still get by. Yeah.
It's going to extend. It's going to give you good battery life. So in 5 years, 8 years, that car is still going to be an absolute cracker. So you've done well. I think I own a Kia as well. I think they're a great car. So well done, Bonita, and lovely to hear it. And if you do have feedback on the car, positive or negative, because everyone learns from each other, we'd always love to hear from you, okay?
And make sure you drop in on the old man and plug your car in as often as you can okay?
Yeah, I took it around him the first day and it was pretty dirty. I had a better car than him, so.
Oh, hey, okay.
That's the best ever.
Yeah, nice.
All right, lovely to hear from you, Benita, and enjoy the driving.
Thanks, guys. Have a great rest of your day.
No worries at all. Yeah, well, I mean, it's a great car. There's no doubt about it.
I said to Joe, this is your next car, I reckon.
Yeah.
And Aaron got in touch. He goes, mate, whenever she's ready. Tell me. He jumped on it. He dropped into my DM. I slipped into my DMs and told me. He said, mate, when you're ready.
All right. We'd love to hear from you if you've got an electric car or you're in the market. Get in touch. 0477 657 657.
Too, are you, mate?
You're more of the drum bongo man, but I thought I'd join in. That's what I'm saying.
Can't beat them, join them.
Hey, I'm not calling you a bongo.
No, not at all.
That would be a great sledge, though. Sounds like a good sledge. Yeah. Anyway, 0477 657 657. Paul's on the line. G'day, Paul. How you doing, mate?
G'day, guys. How you doing?
Mate, really well. What do you want to talk about, mate, in the world of EVs?
I'm still looking, driving a Camry hybrid at the moment. Part of what I was unaware until I listened to your podcast was that the range that they advertise is not the same range as if you driving highways, and I do a lot of highway miles.
Yes.
And so the thought I had was the same way that in the petrol cars, they sort of list sort of highway efficiency versus city. In terms of the kilometre range, I thought it'd be an idea of them putting out that, saying this is what our range is for city versus highway. So you had an idea of what to expect on highway.
That's a good point. So on a fuel consumption sticker for a petrol car, you get a fuel consumption number. So I'm looking at one now, a sample on the internet, 6.5. It says that's combined test. And then it says urban, 8.2, extra urban, highways, 5.5. And so you're saying, given everything you've kind of heard and learned from us here now already, why don't we do the same thing with electric cars?
Exactly. So to give me sort of more of an idea of what to expect, I know that some cars are saying, they're looking at saying 500, 550 and that sort of thing. But if that's from what I've heard you guys saying is more if you're doing a lot of your short drives, what's the kilometres I'm due to expect if I'm doing sort of like going sort of a couple of 100 kilometres at a time?
And it's a good point. My cars are not sitting here, but on both our cars, I've kept the fuel efficiency sticker on. It's called an energy consumption sticker on an electric car, but I've actually still got them on the window. But I'm looking at a sample one here from Infrastructure Department, which obviously regulates these things. So an electric car will show you energy consumption, which is watt hours per kilometre. It'll show you fuel consumption, 0, because obviously a hybrid will show you this as well. It'll show you CO2 emissions, which a petrol car does as well, but it'll also show you a range in kilometres. And so what we're saying, and I think this is a great idea, honestly, Paul, it should say range, I don't know,
city
combined,
driving, highway driving.
And then it should say range, highway. It should be the same.
Yeah.
Because mate, you're a genius.
Didn't we say that a EV is kind of opposite to a petrol car? So highway drive, you're going to burn through the battery faster, whereas a petrol car has more efficiency.
Yeah. So that was news to you. So you didn't realise that there was this disparity.
No. I've been contacting various manufacturers, and none of them have been able to give me those figures.
No, they can't. They don't publish them. You look at the like if you go to a website and you download the specs for a car, all that stuff's there except any difference between highway and city driving. So where are you in the world of the market, mate? You're driving a hybrid, you said? Are you contemplating electric, and this is kind of put a bump in the road?
Yeah, this put a bump in the road, yeah.
Yeah, right.
It was news. I was reluctant at first, but then knowing that hearing what people saying they've been able to do a trickle charge, even granny charges, so overnight, that sort of thing. Okay, fine. That sort of has eased that because it's not really charging around where I am. But then the whole sort of thing of highway range is sort of just taking a step back to sort of think more closely about different cars and sort of and range in that respect.
And you do a lot of highway driving, obviously.
All I do is I'm doing sort of 50 Ks each way for work, but then on my days off, I'm doing 200-300 sort of each way. I sort of go off to visit friends down in Dubbo and that sort of thing. And
Now, it's important to look at, but when you see on some range figures, it has WLTP after
that's
that.
the standard here in Australia.
That's Worldwide Harmonised Light Vehicles Test Procedure. So that's the same across petrol cars as it in for EVs, is it right?
which is why a petrol car publishes a combined range, which is urban and extra urban. And all Paul's saying, and it's a bloody great point, mate. You've made a great point. The bottom line is petrol cars tell you the efficiency in the city and on the highways. Electric cars don't. And we need to think about that, especially as an educational thing, Paul, because obviously you just finally got over the range anxiety or the charging anxiety issue by realising that trickle charging will work. And now you've got to deal with this. You're going to have to wait until cars do some serious range because this is never going to change. And I can tell you right now, Paul, from doing a lot of driving on highways, mate, stick to 80, you're all good. But I'm tipping that on the weekend, you do not want to stick to 80 driving to your mate's place in the country.
Yeah, exactly right.
No.
But I think, though, that it would be a surprise for drivers or new EV drivers to learn that it's the highway is the most inefficient part of the drive. So because they'd assume that, like my petrol car, I got better fuel efficiency on a highway highway. So yeah, if you really have a crack, it's gonna impact.
Well done, Paul. You've come up with a great idea. I do have one last question though. It's a very, very important question, Paul. Do you do voiceovers? Are you working radio, mate? Because what a voice!
You should do radio.
In a past life, I sort of did, but haven't lately.
Oh, okay, rightio. Oh, mate, we heard your voicemail, and then
we thought,
Stephen just went, this bloke's got a voice for radio.
He's on radio.
How good is it?
Guy.
All right, mate, you're a good man. We appreciate you jumping on the line so quickly, mate. And,
Thanks a lot, buddy.
Good luck. Let us know how you go, and if you end up buying an EV, we want to hear about it.
Thank you. Bye.
Good on you, mate. Cheers. Paul jumped on the line, and he did have somewhere to go, so we were jumping and grabbing him there.
His mates call him John Laws. He's got a great voice.
But so I'm committed to. We will write a list at some point. We're gonna. I said to you, let's do a restart of this show essentially because we've grown and changed.
What we've learned.
The stuff that we used to every week do these little things, and I think we need to go. Okay, let's do an episode or two where it's just like, okay, if you're an EV owner, you might skip these episodes, but for the new to the EV world, let's just go back to basics and we'll think about what we can educate.
But also
people
too,
on.
we should maybe maybe between us sort of split up a list of manufacturers and contact them about this issue with the. What have you information do you have for customers who are asking about the highway?
You know what?
driving?
I think it's something we can ask Julie from the EV Council.
Yeah, there you go.
It's really an industry thing.
Yep.
And maybe we could reach out to government and say, why have we created this sticker that doesn't have the same information?
Doesn't give you the information you need.
We learnt this about petrol cars. Why didn't we do this here?
Hello.
Funny enough.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right. Two Blokes Talking Electric Cars. Always great to have your company, and you can get in touch yourself. 0477 657 657. Two Blokes Talking Electric Cars. We'd love to have your company on the show, and we love ideas. If there's something you want us to talk about, send us a text. That's another way just to reach out to us.
That's
0477
digital suggestion box we've got
657
Get it to us.
Digital suggestion box.
Well, you know what? If you want to hear about something, ask the question.
Yeah, but just so you know, we will ask you to come on the show because it's so much easier if you ask us than us just going, well, we had a call from... Like, come on, get on the show. It's not hard. We're just two blokes talking electric cars. That's all we are.
That's it.
Stephen won't bite.
Well, you might sometimes.
That was in a former life. He's not talking literally.
Should have left it alone, but
Moving on. All right, let's get back to your calls. Gary's on the line. G'day, Gary.
Hi, good to hear from you.
Mate, Gary, we've spoken to you before. You are the man behind the KIA EV Owners Association. And we've talked about a lot of things over recent weeks that you can kind of feed us on. And let's break it down into a couple of things. The 12-volt battery, the storage issue. You've got some numbers on that. We had a caller last week or so who'd been at an airport for a long time. What can you tell us about storage time and also the 12-volt battery issue?
Yeah, it was fascinating when I heard your guy, because I was in the middle of the same sort of scenario. I'd headed away for 9 or 10 weeks, and before I left, I thought, well, what do I do? So I decided I'd charge my car to 80 and just let it sit there and see what happened. Hid the keys from the kids so no one could touch it and drive it, and all was good. Now, my car's a bit different. It's a Kia EV6 all-wheel drive, and I had it for 3 years and done 60-odd thousand Ks. It does not have Kia Connect, which might be different for other people. It was before Kia Connect existed.
Right.
And I'm in an apartment block, so I actually have a dash cam that sits there.
Yep.
And I think each night, it checks if someone runs to the back of the car in the car park and a few things like that. So normal mode, I notice each night my 12-volt battery drops a little bit, and then about 2 or 3 a.m, the big battery kicks in and tops it up each night. And it's been doing that for months and months.
Hang on. I just want to stop you there.
Yeah.
So you're saying to me, because I mentioned that in my Cooper I get this little 12-volt warning. Yep. Are you telling me that, so for example, if the car's parked sitting there and you do have a dash cam, it is draining from that 12-volt battery, but are you saying the big battery kind of kicks in at some point? Because most people go, what are you talking about? Yeah. It's got a huge battery. How's it draining? So it kicks in and like an alternator actually gives the 12-volt back charge?
Yeah, correct. Now, I mean, I've got all the latest software on it. I've got a relatively new 12-volt battery, but it's been doing that religiously. And a couple of people said to me, you should stop the 12-volt draining. You should change your settings. I said, well, I don't care if it's topping up every night. That's fine. Yeah. So, anyway, so that's the normal behaviour. I went away, came back, and the big battery's gone from 78 down to 66. So 12% in 9 or 10 weeks, so about 1%
Not too bad.
a week.
Not too bad.
I think that's all right.
Yeah.
And then I've got a 12-volt monitor, so I then go and look at the 12-volt monitor, and
You
for the
nerd.
first... correct. Well, people with Kia EVs know this is a necessary piece of equipment. So after the first 10 days I went away, it kept doing that nightly top up, and I thought that's not surprising. But then after about 10 days it stopped, and the 12 volt stopped draining, and it did that for like a week. So it's 12 volt stopped draining, so it stopped topping up. Now the only thing I wonder is if it's in like a sleep mode. So it's not my dash cam draining it at all, but it's in some sort of sleep mode, like your laptop.
Yeah.
So it's using some power to keep alive, and then after 2 weeks it says, you're not coming back.
Right.
I'll go into full shutdown mode. That was my theory.
One of the things that I think when we had that caller about his car, and I talked to, I think Genesis was his car, we were wondering whether things like, waiting for your key fob to arrive, your car's always kind of searching for you to come near it. And one of the talk, Gary, was like with a Kia EV, there's some of them, there's a fingerprint sensor. It's always waiting to be touched, weirdly. So I'm wondering whether that might have been it, but it sounds like you discovered what it was.
Well, no, I didn't really, because then for 2 weeks it didn't charge and it didn't drop, and then it went back into doing it every 2 nights. It would drop a bit, and every 2 nights it would top up again until I got back.
Wow.
So in the middle of that whole period, it went to deep sleep, and then it went into medium sleep again. That's what happened. I'm sort of, and to me, I guess what I've been telling the Kia people, the bottom line is go away, charge it to 80%, go away, and if you've got the latest software and hopefully a relatively new battery, I guess, you shouldn't have a problem.
Right.
I mean, if you lose,
Gary,
so it's just amazing.
You'd be in the best position to answer this question. What is the sentiment among Kia EV drivers? Are they happy? Are they liking their vehicles? What's the
great question? I'll answer it the most diplomatic way I can, I guess. I mean, people love the cars, but are uncomfortable with the Kia customer service.
Ooh. Yeah. No, we've heard that about that about dealership sales staff.
Yes.
I like my personal example. I mean, I've only had it serviced twice. I've taken it in, off, I've gone. I guess I haven't needed customer service. In what circumstances is the concern mainly coming out?
It is things when there's a problem, when the 12 volt battery fails. When mine failed, they said, well, it's probably a warranty thing, but we'd need the battery for 2 days to confirm that. So we'll need your car for 2 days. Well,
okay.
I can't be bothered. I'd rather just go and buy a new battery.
But is that still? I mean, I had the 12 volt issue.
Much less. 2
months into owning the car because we left it on charge overnight and a lot of things happened. But then the software update came and it was fixed. So is the 12 volt issue still happening?
The 12 volt battery and the ICCU, people are still having some issues. But in my heart, I actually wonder. I wonder whether everyone's got all the updates.
Yes.
So if you've taken it to a dealer who doesn't do a great service and he doesn't do all the updates, and then you have the problem. So people are still having the problems, but when they're great cars and when you get it working properly, it's great.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, my relationship with Kia is a bit interesting now that they didn't like some of my frank advice that I gave my customer service. So we're now a self-funded Kia organisation.
The history there for people is that Gary got a little bit of funding from the Kia company to start this user group, and then essentially they didn't love the way it was very frank and honest group.
Got a bit hurtful,
and so they decided not to renew their funding. So you've become essentially almost any other car club, and that is what it is. But it's still a fascinating kind of insight in your direct contact with owners that are out there in the market, isn't it, Stephen? And there's a lot of other data you can get from that.
I want to ask too about, and you I don't know whether you heard recently about my tyre dramas with Mercedes, and you've done a bit of a survey among your members too.
Correct.
About tyres. Tell us what that turned up.
Yeah, sure. So I think, and this goes back to the Kia Australia relationship thing. One of the things I said to them was, we can give you a lot of interesting information. How you use it is your prerogative. But I mean, and a good example, which is not the tyre one, but 25% of our owners have never used a public charger.
Wow.
Right? And you think, I guess that's just people who do their 30 or 40 Ks a day. And, you know, so we have all this fuss about what the public charging infrastructure is like, but a lot of people have never used it in a year, 2 years.
But also on top of that, you could look at those same numbers and you could probably extrapolate. You might even know it already. And then of the 75% that have, it's probably 50% of them are only using it like once a quarter or something like that.
Yeah, correct. Now, when you need it, you need it. And but it's all those sorts of things. So we've got a lot of that sort of information, and so we're about to do another annual survey and get a whole heap of stuff like that. Tyres was the other one, and in fact it was prompted partly by your conversation around tyres. So we've got about 400 members. So we asked everyone their experience. Now we really only got enough information from EV6 owners because, needless to say, EV3s and EV5s, even EV9s, not many of them have done enough kilometres to have a problem. So let me give you the numbers, and you might come from another interesting conclusion too. So we had the best part of 100 people replace tyres. One guy replaced his before he got to 20,000.
Wow.
But 20% got over 60.
Wow.
Whoa.
40% got over 50. So 40% of people got over 50,000 cars.
That's
completely that's a huge difference for some. Wow.
Yeah, right. One guy got 70.
And see, I wonder how much of this again. Where was I? I was with little Harry, teenager, 13-year-old, and we took a bicycle which had flat tires. I took it to the service station. We pumped it up, and then I drove away and I went, "Oh God, I'm an idiot. I should have checked the tires." He goes, "What do you mean? They're fine." I said, "No. You've got to check them regularly as an owner."
Yeah.
And unfortunately, and with respect, Stephen, I said this to you recently. I said you should check your tires, and you go, "Nah, the car will alert me." But I genuinely think you've got to go and check it yourself to find out what it is, because what we learnt in our experience from the tyre people I went to anyway was overinflate.
Yep.
And so the car's not asking me to overinflate. Do you have any knowledge or feedback from people that might have given you ancillary feedback other than just the data about why the tyres went early?
Yeah, I guess I asked the question about driving style because I thought, and the guy who didn't get 20 said he's got the full GT version and he loves driving aggressively.
Okay.
So, that's easy.
There you go. Yeah.
That's easy.
Yeah.
That's easy. But a couple of the guys who didn't get 30 said they drive like a granny every day.
Oh.
So, in economy mode, they drive like a granny. Now, I wonder whether it's tyre pressure or I wonder whether it's alignment.
Alignment, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say the alignment for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when I had my tyre issues, that's what the guy at the store said to me. He said, my alignment was out on my car by a long way.
And, alignment goes out, but, should it be out from the start?
Well, he said... his quote to me was, these cars bounce around on boats for months, and that's what stuffs up the alignment.
It's fascinating. You'd think it'd be part of the pre-delivery experience.
Well, you'd think so.
But maybe it needs part of the. Again, that's one of those ones you think, well, maybe we should be checking those things a bit more.
Absolutely, mate.
But it might also be people hitting curbs and potholes and
true.
Potholes.
Yeah, potholes. Yeah, that's me, mate. Pothole. I'm pothole king.
Yeah.
You're a pothole magnet, my man.
And I was the customer at the month of my local bow repairs.
Well, mate. They had a Christmas party.
They had a holiday to Hawaii on it.
And the Pirelli rep's loving life too.
Oh yeah, he got a promotion. The guy after me.
So just finally, because it's great data and everything. So for people that do own a Kia EV, and we've had many new owners over recent times, what do they do to reach out to join your club?
Just go to Kavoka. So Kia EV Owners Club. So it's www.kavoka.com.au. It's free. Doesn't cost them anything. Yep. And there will be a survey, and I'd encourage anyone, especially people with an EV9 that's a member, that when they get the survey, to please fill it in this time.
I feel
did you have a survey, mate?
I feel like I didn't fill in the last one. That's Gary saying, Trevor.
That's part of the deal. You fill in the survey, I'll keep giving you the numbers.
All right, okay. It's a deal. All right.
That's a deal,
you know where to find me. All right, mate. Great to hear from you again, Gary. We love
it. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Take care.
Great to hear from you. Yeah, I mean, it's data, and that's what makes the world go round.
I like how Kia said, that's a bit too honest for our blood there. Well, maybe
I don't think they knew what they were getting with Gary.
Yeah, well, you know what?
Good on him though.
Yeah,
He's not going to sugarcoat the world.
Well, you know what? If there's information that can help other people, then put it out there.
I'd hazard to say that Kia, BYD, there's a few other companies that we've been quite critical of their dealership style. I don't think they'd want to fund a club with us at the running it.
You know what, but mate, if it's how you often get asked, you just ask you about a survey, you often get asked to fill, you do something with a company and they say, do you mind filling out the survey? Yeah. And if you've had a good experience, you're likely to fill it out.
That's true. So that's why I was also kind of thinking about how much you dig into the data, because if it's front of mind, like let's say the 12-volt battery issue, right? Yeah. Honestly, if you're a Kiwi owner listening to that, you're going, holy crap, what's this issue? Yeah. Got to tell you, I've had my what's it called, EV9 now for a couple of years. Yeah. It was an issue in the first month, and then it's never been an issue since because we got a software update. Yeah. So I'm not degrading Gary's numbers. I'm just saying you've also got to question how many people didn't fill it out because they don't know what you're talking about. What's a 12-volt issue? Yeah. But most importantly, I think from Gary's call, and the message is, when you're getting your car serviced, if you're not getting it serviced at the dealership, totally your prerogative, but ask them, do they know how to do a software update? And secondly, take it to a dealership and say, I think it should be free. If it's a new car under 3 years, it should be free to get a software update. Absolutely. How long will it take you to do the software update? I want to book it in just for that. Yeah. Make sure you've got the latest software. This applies to all cars.
So you can't do just an over the air at home?
It should be over the air. Like mine's doing over the air.
Normally works, okay.
So, yeah. But maybe there's some. So like Porsche's an interesting one. They say they have OTA, but they do the dealership. Yeah. Like they run the OTA.
I think Mercedes is a similar one. I've got an update that's been. It said it's going to happen for the last couple of months, and it says it's going to install after the next drive, and hasn't done it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I might have to go back to the dealership myself.
You might need to force it in or something when you park.
Maybe, just
go in and force it through.
I've tried.
Okay,
it's not going to do anything it doesn't want to do.
Your car. Well, that's probably a good thing. Unlike a Tesla, they'll do things.
Okay.
Two Blokes Talking Electric Cars. We'd love to hear from you. 0477 657 657. We've got a lot coming up in the weeks ahead. We're going to talk to a guy who I mentioned Julie from the EV Council a couple of times in the last couple of weeks, but she put me on. She mentioned a new member she had. We're going to talk to him in the next couple of weeks. They're reusing car batteries.
Yes.
And the way they're reusing them is awesome, and I'm going to catch up with them, so we'll do that. And we'll open to your suggestions. Anything you want to talk about, we'd love to hear from you on the Two Blokes Talking Electric Cars. 0477 657 657. Stephen, see you next week.
Catch you then.
All right.